It's easy to make money. It's easier to lose the money. It's harder to maintain your peace through it all. As long as you maintain your peace and understand why you're doing what you're doing, and you may beat yourself down worse than anybody else, but you a star in somebody's eyes. And sometimes we can be our biggest critic and not our biggest cheerleader. So again, saying that to say, maintain your peace.
Yo, what up, what up? You are now tuned in to another episode of Mind Your Business. I'm your host, Maceo Tendaji, and this is the show where we give you all exclusive access to entrepreneurs and creators to give you all full insights on their day-to-day operations and creative process. And today, we down here at the harbor, y'all. We checking in with Vibe and Wave Charters, and we're gonna chop it up with the CEO and founder, Captain Kay McPherson. He's gonna talk to us about how he got into the boating industry, tell us a little bit about the boat, and take us out on the water so we can catch all the vibes. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's go! Yo.
Yo, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's going on, baby? How you feeling?
I'm good, how you?
Good. Come on down.
Appreciate you, my guy. So, Vibe and Wave, how'd you get started with this business, man?
So, got a job working at a water taxi company in 2013 from a very close friend, family member of mine, and put me right on the wheel like my first day working. Didn't know nothing about passenger vessels and all that stuff, and just kind of fell in love with it right then and there. And then I was in the Navy Reserves, so about 2015, I got sent overseas and on the water even more, out in the Persian Gulf. And at that point, that's when this kind of just became, the dream. Like, you know what, I want to be out on the water every day. Wow. So, and then just getting people out, have a good time. And that's pretty much how we got here today.
Got you. So it wasn't always in your dreams to have a career on the water. It was mainly that experience with the water taxi and then the Navy Reserves, you said? That's kind of what sparked it all?
Yeah, for the most part, I was thinking about being a firefighter, thinking about getting into construction, just about anything and everything outside of doing this. And you had asked me at like 16, 17 years old, this would have been the last thing I've been doing. And, but it was meant for me to do it. It found me. It's definitely something worthwhile. It's been a good feeling these past 12, 13 years now I've been on the water.
Got you. Wow. So how long have you had this business specifically?
So we started on paper in 2021. Before then, I was just working as a captain for hire, just working on different companies, and then eventually working, doing more private yachts and stuff like that. Really just trying to make a dollar. Just, hey, I got a captain's license, you got a yacht, I can make you some money, just give me the crumbs. And then at some point of doing that too much, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I can get my own boat and I ain't gotta be worrying about getting on everybody else's. It was a great experience, but at that point, I just wanted more. So yeah, once we got to 2021, I decided to get me a boat. It was a smaller 6-passenger vessel. We call it the Honey Obey. That was our first boat. And our first boat, I'll say, that was up and running. We had a boat previously before that, but of course, with business, trial and error, and boats are, they ain't cheap and they hard to fix, and just had to go through a bunch of trials and tribulations to get to our first passenger boat. And then that was 2021, and I'll say about 2023, we started the process to get Honey Lemon Pepper built. About 2024, got out on the water, and we've been cooling and cruising ever since.
Nah, that's what's up, man. So let's take a look. You said it's called the Honey Lemon Pepper?
Yep, the Honey Lemon Pepper.
Talk to us about this particular boat right here. Let's get a closer look on this.
So, Honey Lemon Pepper, One of my favorite flavors, as you can see, we like chicken, so named the boat after my favorite flavor of wings. She's a 30-passenger cafe pontoon layout. Again, fits about 30 people. Got a bunch of bar tabletops, bar stools, just to try to make sure everybody's comfortable. Couple benches, nice sound system on here. As you can see, we tried to make the colors really pop out a little bit, just to kind of grab. Sometimes boat colors are just very bland, and we wanted something that really grab the attention. And of course, this big old bright yellow box, you got a bunch of people that'll be walking down the waterfront like, oh snap, what is that? It looks weird, it looks different, it looks cool. So that was kind of the thing behind, just making it bright, making it pop out. We just wanted something that we could absolutely make sure anybody that's coming on here will be comfortable, from the design of the tables to the chairs to the phone chargers on the tables. Of course, we got a bathroom on here. Cannot be out for no 2-3 hours and have a bunch of people in here with no bathroom. We got RBG lights up top, makes it pop at night. It gets real bright. And like I said, just making it nice and spacious and comfortable for a lot of the different types of cruises that we do.
No, it definitely stands out. It's like one of the first things you see here when you walk into the marina. It's like just a bunch of white yachts, and then boom, you got the honey lemon pepper just standing out. I love that. So talk to us a little bit about some of the features or things that have to happen on the outside of the boat in order to make things run smoothly.
Right. So one of the things that I had to learn about running a boat tour business, it's cool being the captain, but it's better to come in as a businessman. Because like you said, it's a lot of stuff that has to go on behind the scenes, from one, after even getting this thing built, just having a lot of stuff behind the scenes with our admin department, of course, finances, definitely the operations in terms of the maintenance for this thing. Anything that needs to get maintained, fixed, serviced. It definitely takes, in the beginning, it took a lot of time. Because like I said, I came in as a captain, but I also had to learn how to be a mechanic. I also had to learn how to be someone that deals with a lot more of the marketing. Definitely the admin side, even though we got a real great team on the admin side of it, still had to learn how to be behind the computer. I'm definitely not an office guy, so I had to learn how to kind of sit down and go through emails and all that stuff, trying to respond. Like coming from my background, a lot of times captains will just be like, look, we got the boat, you can sit on it and that's it. We don't need none of this extra stuff, or like people magically supposed to just come on down.
Right, just because you got a boat.
It's a lot that goes into it. This is, I'll say, driving the boat is, I'll say 50% of what needs to get done, and it's a light 50%. Literally turn the keys, start it up, take the people out. Is everything else that gets a lot more complicated if you're not prepared. So I got a good amount of years to kind of prepare for everything else.
All right, so talk to us a little bit about like the permits and stuff that you gotta have in order to have your boat docked at a marina. Like, what are some of the rules and regulations behind that?
Oh man, so honestly, we just kind of thug it out. No, I'm just messing with you. So first, and not to go too deep into it, but first, definitely gotta have insurance. And you gotta have insurance for the insurance. Gotta have commercial insurance. You have to go through a lot of stuff with the Coast Guard as far as different types of inspections. Normally that has to happen when the boat is first being constructed. Wherever it gets constructed at, this boat was built over in Bend, Oregon. So Coast Guard over there has to make sure everything is good from literally top to bottom, or bow to stern for you boat people. Then once you get that out the way, then you still have to deal with the state of Maryland to get your registration to operate a vessel out here as well. Then once we figure out, okay, how many people can we legally have on here, that's another thing I got to go back to the Coast Guard about to make sure I get their blessing. Thank you, Coast Guard. And then once we get through that, it's more of just making sure you got the insurance for everything that you need, making sure you're able to operate in certain areas. Some places you do need a permit. Other places, because we operate out of the Inner Harbor Marina, really just making sure our paperwork is okay with them. And then making sure a bunch of waivers are signed. For the most part, anybody that comes on here normally is pretty much signing a waiver way before we even take them out. It's definitely a lot of paperwork. Lot of paperwork, a lot of typing, a lot of dotting I's and crossing T's before, during, and after getting started.
Right. Sounds like it. Sounds like a whole lot of stuff got to be in order before you even think about operating this type of business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely structure. You definitely got to have a lot of structure, even down to having our crew on here. Same thing, making sure they go through all the necessary paperwork that we have to give to them for training and drug tests. And like I said, it's a lot of structure. But once you got the structure in place, it really runs smoothly.
Right. Got you. Okay. Do you mind if we hop on board?
Oh yeah, of course. Come on.
I want to check it out.
Come on. Watch your step.
Yeah. So just talk to us a little bit about the different features that you guys have on the boat.
So, we wanted to make sure when we got this thing built, we wanted to make sure it was spacious, but also give it a nice real lounge type layout. So we made sure when it was getting built, we were very particular about where the benches will be placed, where the bar stool countertops will be placed, just so we can have, certain spots that want to be out in the sun. Somebody want to soak up some sun, be in the shade. Anybody that want to sit down and eat, we got cup holders for anybody want to bring their drinks on board, and we have coasters that go with them as well.
Nice.
One of the coolest parts about the boat is the phone chargers. Majority of the time somebody asking, Captain K, can I charge my phone? Where can I charge my phone? Do you got a charger? So we had to make sure, which a lot of boats, no shade to nobody, a lot of boats don't have plug-in phone chargers. So we wanted to make sure we had that. Just kind of getting out of the mindset of the business owner and getting into the mindset of somebody, just coming on here and wanting to, the consumer, exactly. Just wanted to make sure people are comfortable.
Right, nah, for sure.
Normally, especially when it gets nighttime, we put on some RBG lights. They get bright like I don't know what. Got the nice pretty flowers. Try to be inviting, of course. Got the bar in the back. Like I said, anytime somebody wants to bring a bartender on board. Just like I said, just kind of making this as multifunctional as possible. Definitely a nice sound system. Got a 500 watt speaker up top. It gets really, really loud. Really, when I say really loud, I mean really, really loud. And we normally have another speaker on here as well for our karaoke nights. Yeah, so it'll be anytime you're out on the harbor, especially at nighttime, if you hear somebody just blasting loud music, just floating on, it's probably us. Yeah, it's probably us. Sorry if we woke up anybody, but it's probably us. Now, one of the most important parts of the boat, bring y'all over here, is the bathroom. Bathroom is the most important part of the boat. If you are on here eating and drinking for 2 hours, or just in general, just cruising around, at some point, you're gonna wanna use the bathroom. So I've learned anytime you're out on the water, especially me working on the water, and not having a bathroom, and having to run in somebody's store or restaurant, I'm like, you know what? We gotta have a bathroom. No bathroom, angry passengers. Angry passengers, you're gonna wanna quit. You're gonna wanna stop driving the boat. They'll let it be known they need a bathroom.
Nah, that's real. That's real. All right, cool. So you mind if you take us out on the water and give us a little bit of that vibe and wave experience?
Absolutely. Come on, vibe with us. Absolutely.
Hey, let's get into it. All right, so Captain K, before we hit the water, give us a quick crash course on the different controls and everything we see here.
All right, so this is the helm, AKA where we drive the boat at. You got your throttles, you got your steering wheel, just like a car. It's definitely gonna move way different from a car. But you got your steering wheel. We got a couple of different instruments up here, from your horn, about to blast that. A couple different navigational lights and deck lights, some outlets, just to make sure everything is started up properly before we actually, depart. So now what we're going to do, we're going to put the key in the ignition. And these are, we got two Suzuki outboard engines, 140 horsepower. They definitely push. They definitely push fast. So they keep us nice and steady. This is our VHF right here. Pretty much if we need to get in contact with anybody out on the water for whatever the reasons may be, we always do it from here.
Nice.
Once we let the system load up and charge up, we'll drop the engines down. And then once we actually drop them down in the water, then we'll get it all together. Start off with our stern, pretty much the back of the vessel. And then we start off with the stern and then end off with the bow line, pretty much the front of the boat.
So stern is back, bow is front.
Yep, stern is back, bow is front.
Gotcha.
Forward, aft, all that fancy boat talk pretty much just means untie the boat from the back in the front.
Got you. Okay.
Make sure Sister D is on. All right, deck hand is on. And now we just gonna just pull on out. And it's just like riding a bike.
Easy for you to say.
Just like riding a bike with two engines.
Don't put me behind the wheel. You're gonna be stuck in the ocean somewhere.
No, but honestly, 'cause I'm a boating instructor as well.
Okay.
And I tell people, kind of think of this like a shopping cart in a sense. It's kind of hard to, but pretty much put it like this, because you're going to have, sometimes you don't got to touch the wheel. You can just use the engines. So, like kind of like right now. Once we back it up and we get past this boat, if you are in the market and you kind of just, acting like you got a shopping cart, you would kind of bring your arm a little bit right side of the back and then left side forward, or in the boating world, port, starboard, left, right. Then you're just twisting and twisting and twisting. And it's kind of weird to get used to trying to use two engines to not only operate a boat, but also kind of maneuver the boat as well. But this is how we do it pretty much when you have twin screws or double throttles or pretty much two engines.
Gotcha.
And then once you get to where you're trying to get to, you just steer out. And like I said, don't really got to touch this too much until we get a little further out.
Gotcha. Okay. So in terms of like a point of entry into this industry, I know you just mentioned you're a boating instructor, and you got your start with the water taxi industry, right?
Right.
What are some other points of entry into this industry if people were interested in getting into it?
Do you mean as far as like just other ways outside of?
Yeah, like how do you get started? Would you go to a boating instructor like yourself, or?
I would say if you really are serious about it, I would say first, get some experience, join a boat club, go to an instructor, take a cruise on Vibe and Wave Charters, and pick my brain. Get some experience behind the wheel. Sometimes people may have access to maybe not commercial boats, but or commercial vessels, but different recreational vessels, even kayaking or just anything to get you out on the water. Kind of understand the layout of what's going on out here first.
Gotcha.
And then I would definitely recommend working for a company if you don't have your own boat. And a lot of times the average person, we are not, privy to having, that rich uncle who just got the big old mega yacht saying, hey, come on, drive it for me on the weekends or come chill with me. So I would definitely say look for a company where you could get some experience. And then it takes about, I want to say 360 days, somewhere between 360, 365 days to get your actual captain's license or your merchant mariner credentials. And once you get that time, and normally that's about, let's say, depending on which route you're trying to go in the boating world, 4 hours a day, 360 days in like a 5-year span. You could get that done maybe in a good 3 years, 3 to 4 years, if not 5, depending on how often you go out. And then once you got all your sea time and you got your experience, go take a test with the Coast Guard or at a sea school. I went to a sea school in, I'll say, Annapolis. And for the most part, I pretty much got my license within, I'll say maybe a few months. Because it's definitely a nice long 8-hour test that you got to do in order to get it.
Wow. 8-hour test?
Yeah, it's about 8. It normally takes about 8 hours.
In one sitting?
Yeah.
Sheesh. Ain't no pause and start. Let me come back, let me grab a snack. Like.
It depends on your instructor. Wow. You might mess around. They might mess around and say, hey, anybody want a lunch break? Or you want to keep going? For the most part, we had the option like
water for 8 hours.
No, so this is just in class. We ain't even talk about getting the experience on the water yet. That's if you want to do it commercially. This is just all in class stuff. Then getting out on the water, that really just depends on you, how well you catch on quick. It's definitely a lot more experience that you need to get on the water than in the classroom, but it's a lot of stuff that you need to learn before you actually get behind the wheel.
Got you. Wow, that's really intense. I had a feeling it was going to be intense because this industry is like, there's so much involved with it, right? But just 8-hour book test and then all those hours on the water, that's a different level. That's wild.
It's a lot. You got some people that go to school for like, they may do a crash course for like 2 weeks, a month, however long it may take them, then take the actual Coast Guard exam, then a bunch of paperwork you got to do, physicals to getting all your sea time together. It's a lot to go into it. I tell people it's kind of like, operating a plane or operating a big old truck. It's not as simple as just getting your regular driver's license. It takes a lot. It's not as hard as it's only as hard as you make it. I'll say that.
All right, I got you.
I definitely say it's only as hard as you make it. Hey, fellas, these are the random moments where it's just random stuff happening. So they're actually towing a remote control vessel.
Really?
Uh-huh.
And what would they use that for?
Rescuing, different type of operations. So right now the guy is in the stern of the boat. He's using a remote control to pretty much maneuver it.
Wow.
You see a lot of cool stuff out here.
It's the same thing. There's a lot going on out here in the water. All right, so Kay, so since this is Mind Your Business, would you mind telling the audience a little bit about like what are certain expenses that come with operating just the boat in general and also the business? Like I know we talked about fuel for other yachts that are already out here.
Right.
What is that? What do those numbers look like for you, if you don't mind sharing?
Oh yeah. So we'll start off with the boat. So keeping up with this thing, fuel. Normally we may fill up twice a month. She handles fuel really good, and she takes about, I say about 75 gallons. So we're looking at maybe around $200 to fill up, and that depends on how much fuel is at the time. It's just like regular gas prices on land, fuel prices go up. I've seen them at $5 a gallon, $6, $7 a gallon, and that's just this is gas. Then you got diesel, is different prices. So that fuel fuel prices go up and down. So definitely fuel. Cleaning this thing, that's the fun the fun part about the boat. A lot of different things we use to clean the vessel, cleaning off the seat cushions, cleaning off the actual painted areas like the the siding and the console. This is an aluminum deck, so making sure you get a deck cleaner.
Right.
The bathroom, taking out the trash. It's a lot of as far as cleaning, it's definitely a lot that goes with that. The maintenance, of course, that's probably the main thing that you definitely can't skip out on. Anything dealing with those engines or even the electronics, we check this stuff daily.
Wow.
Like, and I literally mean daily, making sure any seawater or any sea growth is pumped out. Nothing's messing up the maneuverability of the boat. So
Sea growth, what's that?
so when you have the boat sitting for long periods of time, you may have algae growth. So that will just build up over time, and it'll stop the boat from going as fast, or it'll get caught up on the engines. And of course, because the engines are outside of the boat, it'll get caught up on the propellers. And, yeah, you just want to pretty much, that's one of the reasons why we keep the engines out of the water. And we keep them up. So you just want to make sure you just visually inspect this thing before you even start.
Right, for sure.
Like I said, anything with the electronics as well, we try to make sure everything is working from the horn to the lights, the radio, the VHF. Definitely, like I said, anything dealing with maintenance on the boat, mechanical and electronic, you don't want to skip out on nothing. You want to make sure, especially once you start getting people on board, anything can happen. So we try to make sure we do those safety measures before having anybody on.
Nah, definitely. Safety first. That's a must. So I want to circle back to the cleaning. How much would you say goes into that on a monthly basis? Like, from a money standpoint.
Oh man, from a money standpoint, I'll say this: if you're trying to keep her preserved, like from when we first got her, you can expect to spend couple hundred dollars a month. It could go up to about $1,000 a month.
Wow.
Like I said, it just depends on
What's needed at that time.
what's needed. Are you trying to wax the boat? Really give it that good spit shine like it had before. And then of course just making sure, like I said, keeping everything pristine and climbing up on top of this thing, making sure the top part is clean, just really getting every angle of it. It could be a couple $100. And then of course just knowing what products to use, because we'll use a lot of different products. Some things, like you'll think I'm lying, but one of the things we use to clean this is glass cleaner.
Really?
Yeah, so for some odd reason, I don't know how or why, but glass cleaner just cleans all the spots where you see color at. It just makes it pop.
Right. Now I do know it's got a nice little polish to it for sure.
Yeah, anything with color on here, more than likely we'll probably use glass cleaner to clean it. And certain parts, we'll use stainless steel cleaner.
Right.
Different things to clean the cushions and stuff like that. But it's something that we do for the most part before we get on and right before we leave. The vessel is probably getting clean at least anytime we go out on a cruise, 2 to 3 times throughout the entire operation. And then of course, once you get people on, somebody might spill something, drop some food, this and that. So definitely cleaning. You definitely earn your stripes just cleaning alone.
Right. Nah, for sure. What about maintenance in terms of an expense standpoint? Like, is there a set budget for routine maintenance? And then, like, I'm pretty sure things pop up, of course.
Oh yeah. So always expect for something to either need to get fixed or just eventually needing to get fixed. Even just plan for that. So normally on a routine, we go based off of sometimes like how many hours we put on the engines, or I guess in terms of a car, how many miles you would put on it, changing the oil, changing some of the water pumps and stuff like that. Just to give you a ballpark range, when we normally get to about 100 hours on the engines, we're normally spending somewhere close to around $2,000 to get the oil changed, to get certain parts of the engine switched out or maintained. And some of the stuff we may do ourselves, like changing the oil is almost like changing oil on a car. You got different components of it, but it's not hard, but we like to, get with a good group of mechanics that we've been dealing with for a long time, and they take care of us real good. And normally, it may, depending on what it is, something may take a day, something may take a couple of days. The goal is to make sure, take care of this, so it don't take too long. And that's kind of the thing right there. If there's something major that needs to get done, that could cost you your entire season. Just to give you a backstory, on our small passenger vessel, as we were literally coming back in from out near the Key Bridge, there was just floating debris everywhere, like trees and all that stuff. So next thing you know, literally just creeping right under the surface, something hit one of our propellers that pretty much spins and moves the boat. And of course everybody was safe and nobody was hurt, and you wouldn't have even thought that anything happened. But once we pulled the boat out of the water, we seen it was a big old 5-foot splinter lodged in to part of our smaller boat's propeller. And just to order that part alone cost about $3,000. It took maybe a week or two just to get it. And then at the time, like I said, having to get the experience of being, an in-house mechanic, trying to learn as I go, it took me about, just a month just to get everything done and get it back out on the water. And mind you, we still had a couple of months left in the season, but if the boat's not moving, you ain't making no money. Yeah, so the longer the boat sits, the less money you make. And then of course, this Baltimore weather, you never know what it's gonna be like. By the time you hit October, it may start snowing or something. So then it's just like you gotta really take advantage of the season. So we definitely make sure when it comes to the maintenance, we stay on top of it. And that's also just a part of the safety part of it as well, because for myself and my passengers and my crew, I definitely want to have everybody on here with something functional.
Right, for sure, yeah. That's a great breakdown, man. And I'm pretty sure, when it comes to y'all season, you got to go hard, because like you said, you just never know. You got to expect the unexpected. So it might be some maintenance issues, it might be some weather issues, whatever the case may be. I'm pretty sure y'all just trying to stack bread for the whole season to make sure y'all good, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's normally the goal. Like I said, we try not to touch anything until the season is over with, because you never know what kind of expenses you're gonna rack up with this. I'll say this, it's definitely rewarding with the pay, but I'll tell anybody in a quick second, if you're doing it just for money, it's you're gonna have a hard day. You're gonna have some hard days, because there'll be times where not even just on the maintenance side that could halt your trips, even on the weather side, you may have a day where, as beautiful as it looks right now, but next thing you know, you got a 2-3 hour cruise and thunder and lightning just come out of nowhere, and now whatever money that was made, now you're either rescheduling or giving refunds. Yeah, because normally with us, our policy is anytime when there's some harsh weather, we'll give you the option to either reschedule or just give you a refund, because you spend some good money to come on with us, and I don't want to be out here in no hard weather, and I know you don't. So,
but that takes a lot of discipline, man, on your part to make sure that money is locked in and you're holding it for the, situations like that. Because if you got to get refunds, say you got 3 or 4 cruises booked, it stormed that whole day, it's like you might have to break them off, all 4 of them off with refunds.
I'll tell you something. One time we did last year, towards the end of the season, we had a couple cruises, and we had about 10 cruises, and if you know our prices, do the math on that. This is, it was a good week. It was starting off to be a good week. and for some odd reason, it was just an overcast of nothing, just dark clouds. Like the sun wasn't out for like a week. So the first day, I'm like, oh, okay, might have to refund, reschedule. No problem, we got a couple more days. That was a Monday. Tuesday, same thing, but we still good.
Right.
Wednesday, Thursday, it's like, that money getting a little bit low.
Right.
It's getting a little low now.
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, we're busy a lot throughout the week, but of course, like those Thursday to Sunday, those are our big days. And then weather was just terrible. So we had to, of course, like I said, we don't play about the weather, so gave it back. But it's just like I said, with this kind of industry, if you're going about it smartly, you really can't touch nothing until the cruises are pretty much over.
Right.
And it's rewarding because then you get to sit there and look at, what you made. So it definitely, it's some exciting times, but it's full of fun and adventure. Sometimes it works for you and it works against you.
Yeah, you just got to be wise. You got to be disciplined. You know what I mean? You got to just lock in. You know what I mean? So, so talk to us a little bit about the season that you guys operate.
So normally we're operating between June and the end of November. This year we decided to start in May. So we like to try to get it pretty much from when the weather is breaking all the way out to either, if not mid-November, then the very end of November. Okay. Just depends on how cold it gets. We're normally stopping when it gets below 50 degrees. Okay. And honestly, people will still want to come out in below 50. We try not to chance that just because we want people to be comfortable and we don't want it to be dangerous or anything. But it'll be people out there with the gloves on and the scarves and all that. Because, for the most part, it's kind of hard to, even in cold weather, I'll say sometimes cold weather is not bad weather. Right. It's kind of hard to, not have a good time on the water. Yeah. Like I tell you, we even had 25, 30 people on here come on cold like I don't know what. By the end of it, they all singing karaoke or just, enjoying the sights. So, it's all in all what you make of, but we definitely try to stay in between May to November and just kind of guesstimating what the weather may look like around March to December.
Got you. So look, y'all heard it here first from Captain K. Make sure y'all book this season. If you're already in May, about to be in June, make sure y'all book all the way up until November. And when we come back, we're gonna give y'all a real experience of what it's like to book a cruise with Vibe and Wave. So don't go nowhere, stay locked in, and we're gonna show y'all what Vibe and Wave is all about. Let's get it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as promised, we are here with Vibe and Wave Charters, and we are giving you exclusive access to a boat cruise right here. I got my man, Captain K, and we are making history today. We got the first ever live audience for Mind Your Business. What up? Hey, Captain K, I think they are ready. They're ready for the exclusive Vibe and Wave charter, a cruise experience. Tell the audience a little bit about the different types of cruises and experiences that you guys offer here.
Well, first of all, I want to say, starting off, thanks for having me on here on my own boat. Wouldn't be able to do this without you. But we do public and private cruises all around the Baltimore Inner Harbor, the Baltimore Peninsula. We do sunset cruises, karaoke cruises, game nights, live bands on here. If there's anything that we can do, we try to push the limit on it.
Yeah, I see that. I saw you guys doing a lot of different cruise experiences on social media, stuff ranging from karaoke to like the live bands, like you said. How do you balance those fun experiences, but also making sure that your audience is safe?
Well, so I've been doing this for about 12, 13 years. Saying all that to say, got to put safety first in whatever cruise we do. It gets a little turned up sometimes, every once in a while, but safety is always first. We always try to make sure everybody's cool, calm, and collective, comfortable, and we try to push that narrative first. Then once I see that everybody's good, then that's when we get the fun started.
And what are some of those precautions that you guys take when it comes to safety? What's some of the protocols?
Well, we definitely give a lot of safety speeches, make sure we got all the equipment. Because we're a commercial boat tour business, we got to have certain things from the Coast Guard, so got to have the life jackets, the fire extinguishers, medical kits. But then also we got to make sure myself and the crew is trained just in case if something did happen. The goal is for nothing to not happen at all. We don't want to do no paperwork. We are commercially licensed and insured. I don't want to use the insurance though. So try to make sure we're all squared away.
Nah, definitely. You know, one of the things that jumped out to me about your business is that you are a black man in Baltimore City with your own boat down at the Inner Harbor. First of all, can we clap it up for a black man with a boat in Baltimore City? Come on, man. That right there is it's different. You know what I mean? It's different. What made you want to get into this industry? And, you know, with black people, we don't really mess with the water like that, right? So how have you been able to, you know, tap into the community and let people know, like, hey, we down at the harbor. If you guys want a maritime experience, we're here to give that to you all. How have you been able to navigate this industry that most of us are not really in?
So here's the thing, comment you just made, black people not really out on the water. And the thing about it is, all of this that you see down the harbor, black people for the most part built this area up. Back in the early 1900s, even late 1800s, for the most part, a lot of the rich people were like living up the hills of Fells Point and Canton, and down here was mostly the immigrants, the slaves, and a lot of us started our own businesses on the water, whether it be ship repair, fishermen, bringing in produce from different places. So it's really nothing new, but I do understand that, you know, just trying to, you know, and I feel like it's my job just to try to bring this back to our generations and a few generations before us, like, hey, we were already out here. But as far as from my personal experience, I used to work at a water taxi company out here. And I fell in love with it. And between being in the service, the Navy, just being on the water, you know, for the past 12, 13 years, I just said, you know what, let me see what this could be like if I tried to do it on my own. Tried to go down and do this in the Caribbean. Got married, had some kids. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. Right. But once I had a family, I wanted to try to make this home base for working on the water, because I've been to DC, been all up down the Chesapeake Bay or the DMV area. But a lot of times people want to run away from home and do certain businesses, which is no problem. But I tell people all the time, you know, Miami is cool. Going up north or going over the West Coast is cool, but it's so beautiful in Baltimore. And what you can see from the water is something totally different from seeing it on land. And I said, I want to be one of the captains to, you know, bring this more to the forefront as far as showing like, hey, the Inner Harbor is cool, you know, Baltimore Peninsula is cool. And there's some other captains out here too that's been doing it a lot longer than I have, but you know, it's that disconnect that sadly they haven't been able to kind of, you know, bridge that gap. And, you know, I just try to take it upon myself to do it.
Yeah, no, I love that. I think you are giving people a totally different perspective of the city just by bringing them onto the water. So I commend you for that, first and foremost. Talk to us a little bit more about some of the marketing efforts. What's your marketing strategy in terms of, you know, I've been following you guys on social media, your following is taking off. How have you strategically marketed your business, and talk to us about, you know, maybe some staff or some employees that help you in that regard?
So for the most part, a lot of our stuff has either been social media, outside of our website that we have just TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, but then a lot of it's just been word of mouth, you know. You see this boat bright like I don't know what. Right. So it ain't hard to pretty much see what this is, you know, just like, oh, snap, it's a big old yellow box just floating on the water. I want to see what it is. Right. But a lot of stuff was word of mouth. Like when I first started, like even before this boat, we had a 6-passenger boat where I would just drive up to some of these places on the waterfront and just tie up right there and be like, hey, there's one time I did a cruise for I'm like, look, you ain't even gotta pay me. Just let me take a picture of you having a good time.
Right.
And just coming out here every day, just really just having a word of mouth. Like I said, it's not a whole lot of captains out here, so I was kind of able to stand out a little bit. But yeah, like I said, a lot of word of mouth, and also trying to make this thing a little bit more, how can I say, less commercial, a little bit more laid back.
Right.
A lot of times with like some, certain commercial boat tour businesses, it's very commercial, looks like a movie, very too much curated.
Right.
For us, I try to get people on here to make it seem like, it's a cousin's cookout.
Yeah.
Like we in the backyard just chilling.
Right. I think
We just happen to be on the water.
Yeah, I think that's a good segue for your slogan, bringing luxury to laid back.
Exactly.
Expand on that a little bit. What does that actually mean to you?
For me, we want people to come on fly, sexy, dressed up, ready to have a good time, but also know, like, again, this trying to give that that backyard cookout, cousin's cookout feel. Really come as you are, to be honest. Just come to have a good time.
Right.
You don't got to do too much. You ain't got to drink with your pinky up if you don't want to. Like, just come to have a good time. That's what we're here to do. That's what I'm trying to provide, a space where just unwind, get laid back. Like I said, you could come with the suit and tie. You could come on with the flip-flops and the T-shirt. As long as you're having a good time. That's what's most important.
Yeah, no, I love that. And I think you're doing, like you said, the complete opposite of the other boats that you see here, where it is a much more luxurious experience. And I feel like for a lot of people, it can be intimidating. When people come down here to the harbor, they just see a whole bunch of money, they see the yachts and stuff like that. And I think when they see your boat, first of all, it looks inviting, you know what I mean? So just the appearance alone, and then like what it is that you stand for, I think it's very inviting for people to want to come down here and get that experience that you just mentioned. When it comes to having a vision, right, doing something different, having faith, talk to us a little bit about how your faith had to carry you in order to bring this into fruition. Because I know this ain't easy. This industry alone, the point of entry ain't easy. So talk to us a little bit about the faith that you had to have to bring this to life.
Oh, man. I like that question. You know how I sell salt to a snail, man, I tell you. One, just believing in my higher power, just believing in Yah. It's definitely testful, I'll say that. Even though, again, like I said, it's been a lot of black people in the industry, it has not been a lot of people that have been inviting into the industry. One, just getting a job on the water in general alone can be kind of hard. And not necessarily being a deckhand, but getting to a place where it's like, all right, I'm a supervisor or I'm a captain. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of patience. And for the most part, I'm not nowhere near shape or form a self-made man. I done had a good amount of people in my corner. I done gave up on this, I can say at least 3 times that I can think of right now. And I still love it. Even in those times I gave it, I still really loved it. But you just go through a lot. Like, especially when you don't have too many people that you can follow. I met a lot of great captains that did this before me, had their businesses, and still doing it. But when it came down to this part, nobody really had the answers. Hey, I can teach you how to drive, I can show you a few things, but as far as getting to this space, you kind of on your own. And again, I had my higher power, and I had my family, I had friends really just rooting for me. Sometimes like, hey, I don't have the answers, but I'm proud of you, and I'm rooting for you. And then there were times where, I had to leave Baltimore and go, just get the information and the knowledge from people, even people that really didn't want me to be there, people that really didn't want to even teach me, just kind of being a fly on the wall, paying attention to what they were doing. So then, by the time I was able to do this, still had its hardships, but it definitely made me feel a lot more confident in doing this.
Yeah, yeah. No, I love that, man. And I want to get you out of here on this one because I want to get back to the cruise. I know the people are just waiting to get back to the vibes and the waves, you feel me? I ask all my guests this, a little bit of word of wisdom. What advice would you give somebody who's trying to do something different, trying to enter an industry that, you know, is uncharted territory?
It's easy to make money. It's easier to lose the money. It's harder to maintain your peace through it all. So focus on your peace, then a dollar gain, a dollar loss, it won't hurt you as much. You know, like I said, and I'm saying that from experience because I've made, I had my good days making, you know, a few dollars, and then there were days really a lot more than good, to be honest, where that money just came and gone. And it affected my peace though. But I'll still be able to be out on the water. Still got my family. I still got my faith. And that's really more important. And not just with my industry, but just with any job, a career, whatever passion you're trying to pursue that involves money. You're gonna make it, you're gonna lose it. We done made some money last week, we done lost some money yesterday, whatever. As long as you maintain your peace and understand why you're doing what you're doing, and you know, you may beat yourself down worse than anybody else, but you know, you a star in somebody's eyes. And you know, sometimes we can be our biggest critic and not our biggest cheerleader. So again, saying that to say, maintain your peace.
I love that, because without peace, you really don't have much of anything. So it all starts with being grounded, centered, and having that peace of mind. Captain K, let the people know where they can follow you, where they can book a cruise, and get in touch with you.
Well, if you're looking to get on a honey lemon pepper stepper, bringing some luxury to laid back and having a good time out on the Baltimore Inner Harbor and the Baltimore Peninsula, you can get up with us at www.vibeandwavecharters.com. on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Vibe and Wave Charters, or you can just wave us down. You see the big old yellow boat just cruising down the harbor.
Already. Look, y'all heard it here first. We about to get back to the Vibe and Waves. We're gonna give y'all exclusive insight on what it looks like to book a cruise right here with Captain K. Hey, I need y'all to make some noise. Clap it up right now for Captain K. Let's go. Hey, Black Star, take us out of here. Let's get it. Y'all see it firsthand. Make sure y'all book a cruise with them, and make sure y'all tap in with Mind Your Business. Follow me at MACEO_Tendaji, and follow Iconic Visions at IKONIC_Visions. And if you have a business, we want to hear from you. Make sure you send us an email at myb@iconicvisions.com. Hey, let's get it. Until next time, we're going to continue to mind your business. Let's go!
My riders, my riders, my rider girls. My riders, my riders, my rider girl.